My name is Jeanine Thomas, and I teach 5th and 6th grade at Randall Elementary in Milpitas Unified School District. We've been using the Common Sense Media Digital Citizenship curriculum for 2 years now. I feel like it promotes great discussions in the classroom, and they also carry over to at home as well. And I think that's a really big part of the curriculum. And it's really important for the kids to be able to go home and talk to their parents about what's going on at school.
So this actually was...
Sometimes for homework, I will send the kids home with a parent sheet, the parent tip sheet, and so they'll have a discussion with their parents. And then what I ask the kids to do to show me, number one, that the discussion actually took place, and then for number two, for us to come back the next day and be able to discuss it.
Quite often my daughter would bring home a flyer and immediately she'd hand it over to me and say, "Mommy, this is something you need to read."
It's allowed me to have these conversations with my kid about who he talks to, what types of questions they ask him, what type of answers he's giving to them.
The fact that it involves the parents in the same understanding and the same concepts as the kids are discussing with the teachers. So you have that opportunity to just talk to the parents, and use the same language you're going to use with the kids.
One of the things that we do in the Academy to build parent involvement when it comes to our Common Sense curriculum is the Media Smarts quiz, which is built into one of the lessons. The students take that quiz and then they go home and they give their parents the same quiz. And after we come back to class, we kind of review the answers and compare what the student has done with what the parent has done and how they have responded.
When my daughter came home from school, she said, "Oh, Mommy, we're learning this in school. We're learning how to set up passwords and exactly how I should be putting together my password," and asking me questions about passwords that I have already established, and telling me maybe I wasn't protected enough and that maybe I should consider changing up a little bit what I was doing online.
As a district, we feel that it's important to provide the resources to parents. We do have links on our websites that parents can access to Common Sense materials.
I get emails from Common Sense Media where it kind of gives me a heads up about what's going on in the world, and I pass those on to the parents.
What it has done is it's allowed parents as well as students to communicate with each other and to speak openly about things that are happening on the internet, especially at the School of Randall, where we are more of a socially economically deprived school. It's been nice that the parents have been able to get this education. When you have a lot of families where there's two parents working, they're not at home all day, so they need to know some of the things in advance so that they can set up boundaries and parameters for their children while they're on the internet.
When kids are using that even amongst themselves, we have to be careful with that.
So one of the things that we do in the Academy to build parent involvement when it comes to our Common Sense curriculum is we do a parent night on internet safety and digital citizenship. So that's one way to pull those parents in the evenings after work and give them a quick hour and a half of this is kind of where we're at in the classroom.
I think the program offers a way to have parents who aren't generally familiar with it to have a way to get their hands around what is out there and how to protect themselves as well as their children. I think we're at very early stages where parents are trying to get a handle on it. They know it exists, but I'm not completely sure they completely know what the questions to ask are. We had a lot of feedback from our parents who said, I never knew this, and this is basically an eye-opener.
Post something to someone else and just...
I also ran a parent workshop at the beginning of the school year. It ended up being a really easy event because I had pretty much everything that I needed to say that night was in a really easy lesson format. At the end of the night, I had materials that I could give the parents and send them home with that would allow them to kind of spark further conversations with their kids.
I think it's important to talk to your parents about these things because, you're online all the time, kids are online all the time, and your parents really don't know what you're doing.
I feel like as educators, we need to provide for our students, knowing that this is a part of their world today, and it's a part of their everyday world.
Right now, students are on their cell phones or on their computers, and so we could say that technology is taking away the time, the family time together. This Common Sense Media, what it does is it takes the technology and it brings them together in a conversation that both understand and want to talk about and want to learn more about it. So actually, Common Sense Media, what they do is they bring families together in conversation.